Hi everyone, welcome to Deadline Dilemmas, brought to you by Fantasy Football Scout. Double Game Week 24 has just finished, and it's been a manic game week. Luckily for you, I've got Praz here to discuss it with me. How you doing, my
Luckily for
friend?
you, Pras is like on a massive tilt. He's taking hits every week. Bloody chip, man. I hate assistant manager. Like, it's not because Tarkowski scored in the last minute. Slot scoring 15 points was fine. I hate the chip, man. I was supporting Liverpool like anything. Feels so dirty. Like, I felt like, screw Liverpool, man. I mean, as a Man United fan, I don't give a shit. Like, you can lose your Merseyside derby, you lose 4-0. And here I am getting nervous. Oh my God, Everton have scored first. How can Liverpool lose? I've got Slot. This chip is rubbish. We need to remove this chip.
Praz, may I remind you, we've still got 2 more game weeks of this chip, so it still might make you happy. I know this one went wrong because a lot of people went with Moyes, and it's worked
It
out
didn't go
much better for
wrong.
them.
15 points is okay, man.
It's
It didn't
not
go
bad,
wrong.
but it feels a bit wrong because Moyes is much cheaper, and they had to keep their triple Liverpool, and he got more points. It's as
Well,
simple as that.
Indai got more points than Gakpo.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point,
I
actually.
had I had to basically take Gakpo out. Of course, let's ignore it was for a hit. But basically, I'm just saying it was not that big a deal. Like, I was thinking about it later, right? I mean, when it happens, you're like, screw this, man. I just lost 3 points because now instead of a win, I get a draw. And my rivals who have Moyes got 9 points
Yeah,
because they get the table bonus of 5, they get the draw, and they get the goal. So that's 9 points straight. But that's basically the same as a Chris Wood scoring a goal against your defense, right? So you lose your
yeah.
clean sheet, and Chris Wood gets goal and 3 bonus. That's 9 points. It's the same thing. It feels like, oh my God, it's horrendous. It would have been horrendous had Liverpool lost. If you give away 20 points and you get 0 yourself,
That's huge.
that's a disaster.
That's huge. I mean,
But
from my perspective, it almost felt as a loss because obviously Liverpool conceding as well. So it was a double. It was a
yeah,
double blow, to be fair. And
I can imagine.
we won't stay on that game too long, but yeah, it was very
And Slot,
frustrating.
Slot got the red card. That was beautiful. I mean, that was actually beautiful. For a Man United fan, that was beautiful because people are like, oh my God, is he going to be banned? Is he going to not? Are we going to get minus points? No, we will just not have Slot, but we'll have Liverpool. And so that's fine.
For a minute, I did go and check the rules though, because I was panicking. I was thinking this is even going to be worse. That this is a big, a big swing basically. If we did
That
get
would have
minus
been bad.
points,
That
yeah,
would have
that would
been
have
bad.
been really bad. But overall, yeah, like you said, it's a bit too early to judge this assistant manager chip. So I'm going to wait. Let's see. In some ways, though, Praz, we've got slot for this game week. We don't need to
Yeah.
transfer. So that's
We need
another
to use the
positive
transfer.
as well.
Yeah.
I know we're reaching a
Until
little bit
Villa
here.
beat them at home, and then we're actually screwed.
And one more thing to discuss regarding Game Week 24. What did you think of the triple captainers that went Salah?
What can I say? I'm gonna sound like this sour, basically the guy who's salty. I didn't think it was a good decision. Like, I'm sorry, it wasn't.
You still don't
It,
think it
it
was a
th-
good decision, Press?
we were getting 5 games out
Yeah.
of the assistant manager chip,
Hmm.
in a chip where we've seen that the average scores are like 7.5 to 10, right? If you get it right, like
Yeah.
Moe scores 22, Slot even like by drawing a game he gets 15. So 7.5 to 10 feels good per game, not per game week, per game.
Yeah.
So by basically not playing it this week, the only window now you have is to get 4 games out of your assistant manager because there's no other window where you'll get a double, right? So basically, by playing the triple captaincy last week, you said, I don't want 8 points. I'm giving up 8 points to play the triple captaincy. Then when you think about the fixtures were not that good. Again, I'm sounding very salty here, so I've already given you the caveat. Liverpool created 0.6 xg
Yeah.
against Everton. Salah was no bloody where, nowhere. He had one chance, he scored. Again, Salah is amazing as an FPL pick, full respect. I'm not questioning the decision. I'm just saying you had a choice. You could have waited.
But the
So
outcome, Praz, was remarkable.
outcome is amazing, and then after that, of course, you sound
Incredible.
like an idiot when you're trying to defend the
Yeah.
decision of not doing it. And you know what? The other thing that went really well for those who's triple captain Salah, as it stood, would have had another double game week later in the season because he would have been in the FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
But what did you do? You lost.
I know.
And so not only did the triple captainers get this points haul, which I still don't know. I think he had 3 shots over the double and he got 3 goals. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But not only you get that, you get exclusivity to Salah doubles, because now nobody can play it next week either because they played their assistant manager chip. So look, great outcome. If you played it, amazing, well done. But I'm not going to change my view. This is the view that I had before. That the good call was not to throw away the assistant 5 game assistant manager.
I'm in agreement with you, actually. I just wanted your opinion. I'm totally in agreement, even though it does sound silly saying it after Salah nearly scored 100 points by himself in one. It's unreal, but
He scored 29 points.
yeah, I know. I'm just
Everybody scored 58 because
Yeah.
everybody captained.
Yeah,
Salah scored 29 points. Moy scored 22 points. So actually, if you now compare it to I'm using Moyes as an example because Slot
yeah.
could have also had 20 points, right? So
Mhm.
it's not. So what I'm using it as an example in the sense that, let's say the Moyes people also got to triple captain Salah later, they should have been happier. But the Moyes guys are now thinking, okay, I used my AM chip, I got the extra game that the triple captainers did not get, but I will not now get to triple captain Salah. I'll have to do it on Haaland or Isak, which is fine. But I'm just saying, they're not, it's not over yet. So
Yeah.
you can celebrate because he's done well. But I think the assistant manager outcome, especially for the Moyes guys, was also good.
I'm in agreement. Yeah, I think triple captainers are not going to be upset by hearing this. They've got the points. They're more than happy, and if they've got the opportunity to jump on the assistant manager chip as
I
well.
already
So,
know the comments, man. They're going to be very angry with me. Guys,
oh, they're
I
going to.
think you're amazing. You've done really well captaining triple. Who can say it's captaining triple captaining Salah in the season where he will beat all FPL records is never bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying one was, in my mind, slightly better. That's
Yeah,
all I'll say.
yeah, fair play. I mean, even I didn't expect the two fixtures. I think when the last show that me and you done, we were discussing it, and we thought the two fixtures are very difficult, and they were, because even as a Liverpool fan, I can be honest. Against Bournemouth, that score flattered us. That 2-0, because
Yeah,
Bournemouth were
that
exactly
Clivert miss.
exactly that, and the
Exactly.
game could
Yeah.
have changed. So that was
Yeah.
one of them. And the Everton game, I'm the first to tell you, even though I thought the decisions for their goals were incorrect, I thought they were the better team.
Yeah.
So again, they were difficult fixtures, but what you said, Salah done what he's been doing all season. He touches the ball and just scores. So you can't. There's nothing we can do about that. But I think it's a good segue straight into my team actually, because if you see the amount of issues, well, not even issues, I've got loads of potential movements here, and I want to run them by you, Prez, and see what you think as well. But first, let me run through for the team. So I've got 2 free transfers, but no money. I mean, no money in the bank.
Okay.
Sales in goal. Trent, Mikalenko, Gabriel. That's the back 3. So 5-man midfield in Salah, Palmer, Mbumo, Gordon, Kluivert. And up front, I've got Wissa and Isak. Now on the bench, I've got the red carded slot because I've got the assistant manager activated. Fabianski and Dye, which was very unfortunate actually with that injuries come off. It looks like it might be a bad one. We're not quite sure there. And Hall and Greaves. So that's the current bench. Currently, the ideas I've got, let me run a couple by you. So I've been waiting and I've lost loads of value, Prez. You know, that's one thing that's bugged me this season. Normally I wait, but then I gain from it because there's injuries or something. This season it's not happened. I've not, people moved early and made loads of value, and there's me waiting, thinking surely something can still happen.
Yeah, but it backfires. Last game week, I moved early because I had 0.0 in the bank.
Yes.
And it cost me 4 points. Because if I had known, I wouldn't have gone Gakpo and then sold Gakpo for Ndai.
Okay, so that wasn't because of injuries. That was because of the fixture being updated. Yeah. Okay.
I had to play the assistant manager chip, so I needed funds back.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate there. I think I remember you talking about that you went early, made your moves, and then the double game week 25. So double game week 24 and 5. Yeah.
Exactly.
So here's the situation I've got going on. Gordon with Manchester City and yellow flagged is looking at me. He's an easy option out, which could free up some money.
He's fit though. I think he was in training.
Has that already been seen? Yeah, I've not caught up with that today.
Well, the thing is, look, you could still sell him. Like, do you really want a double attack against Man City? Maybe not. You could have him, but if you were tempted to move him, I can also understand it.
So for me, he wasn't urgent. I actually like the fixture. If I'm honest with you, Price, he wasn't urgent. But so let me tell you the thinking. So first, an obvious one. I can go chasing. I can go get Rodgers. Double game week, Ipswich, and the Liverpool game is a bonus. You might as well say. But Liverpool are conceding chances. You saw against Everton, and Rodgers is very good at home. I think both games for him are at home. I could go there, but I know game week 29 is around the corner. Transfers. But I think I've done some calculations. I'll be in a good place to put out a team for 29, even if I do this hop on, hop off. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this, so that was one of the options. The second option is Gordon straight to Dango. I think I prefer him than Semenyo. So I was going to go there, double up. Okay. And with that money I gain back from Gordon, because he's cheaper, to Dango, I would upgrade Hall to Kirkes. So that would be using 2 transfers. Part of me is thinking about the Kirkes move. Do I need to do it? Because Mekalenko versus Palace, we will look at the odds after, actually. I'll go to that. But Kirkes against Southampton does tempt me more than that. So they're the 2 moves I was thinking. The defender one's not urgent. I'm more than happy to play this free here, Perez. As you saw, Everton under Moyes, they're going to be, they're strong.
They're good.
They are good. So it's the double up in midfield, the 2 Bournemouth players, or Rodgers. That's the move for me at the moment. Endai, I'm not quite sure. I've not considered moving him at the moment. That was quite soon. It wasn't even my thinking with the injury. I could just bench him because he plays in 29.
Yeah, but he's on crutches, man. We'll hear tomorrow. Let's see. Of course, we're all going to wait for the press conferences, right? So I think firstly, making a defender a Hall to Kirkes move, I like, because you don't want to be playing Mikalenko or Hall in any of the weeks next 3-4 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you can argue Hall next week home to Nottingham Forest, but then Kirkes is still good for you can play him next 5 weeks.
You can play him all the way through. Yeah. You don't need to touch him. I agree.
You're taking out 2 blankers in Gordon and Hall and getting 2 players who play. I mean, in Rodgers' case, okay, you're getting 5 games basically. Whether you get Rodgers, you will have a double and a blank, or you get a Bournemouth guy, you'll still get 5 games. So I think the team looks settled. So you don't have to be conservative. I think you should go for the 2 transfers.
You reckon, yeah? But which 2? Which midfielders? Would you go Dango or would you go Rodgers?
Well, when we come to my team, I'll tell you. That's what I did.
Okay, all right.
I went straight to Dango.
But you don't have Clivert though, so you don't have doubled, have you? So
no, but I could. Part of my moves is to get Clivert as well. If Andy Martin gives us the all clear that his baby has arrived. So,
but he's delivering the baby. So
I mean, if you're talking Clivert versus Rodgers, or Dango versus Rodgers, go to that player matrix from Rob T. Do you have the long form player matrix?
I don't actually.
Okay, no worries. So I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So basically, Clivert is at 0.51 expected goals this week, with a 41% chance of a goal, 40%, and 9% of a 2+, right? So that's Clivert. Rodgers is a 0.31 with 26% of chance of a goal. So Clivert is way ahead of Rodgers, but this is comparing Rodgers only 1 game. But that's the Ipswich game, right? That's the game where you're buying him for. Like the Liverpool game is like your bonus. Like you get appearance points plus maybe a return. So from that point of view, it would suggest you can go straight to Clivert. But you already have Clivert. So let's look at Dango and Semenyo. So Dango and Semenyo have exactly the same output. So their projected goals is 0.41, both of them. At least 1 goal, the odds are 34%. So 0.41 compared to 0.31.
Yeah.
So they're still, even though Rodgers is home to Ipswich, both Dango and Semenyo away to Southampton have a better, almost a 33% better goal scoring odds. I think Rodgers is better in assists. So clearly Rodgers is better. But the idea is, what you're saying is it worth getting him and then taking him out? And you should count that as 4 points because it'll cost you a hit down the road. It could cost you a hit down the road.
It could do. Or the way to look at it, Pras, if I don't use that transfer, I can potentially, depending on how the team goes with injuries and whatnot, I've already looked down the line where Chelsea plays. It's Southampton and Leicester coming up soon. And that's an opportunity maybe for me to use that transfer to be able to gain potentially a little edge. I think I'm going to be more than... That's the problem. Well, who knows? Maybe in Nkunku or one of the wingers. I know it's reaching. Chelsea have really slowed down. But I am at the stage of the season, when I'm totally honest with you, Praz, if there is an opportunity to try something a bit different,
then go Rodgers, because then you get 1 more week of information from Chelsea, actually 2 more, because you'll get to see them in the Europa League or whatever league they're in, that Mickey Mouse European one, and the league. So you'll get to see if it's Nkunku. Look, I am skeptical. Like people are jumping and saying Nkunku's going to play up top. Like Maresca hates him.
He doesn't.
Like,
He's
if he wanted to play him. So we're basically in a situation where he may get minutes. But if you think about it, again, Southampton, if you go to Chelsea in this chart, where is Chelsea? Yeah. Southampton home and Leicester home and Aston Villa, that's all happening in a week. So Aston Villa is Saturday, Southampton is
Yeah.
Tuesday, Leicester is Sunday or Wednesday, something like that. Nkunku's not going to start both Southampton and Leicester. I'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised as well, actually. I said, when you're making that point, I didn't know there's a 3-day gap between the Southampton and Leicester game. Yeah, and we know already he's a sick note waiting
I mean,
to
not
happen.
3, it's a Wednesday, Sunday, but then Aston Villa is also Saturday. So it's Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. It's a midweek game. Maresca likes to rotate. There is, I was worried about Jackson starting them, and Kunku definitely is not starting. Like, he'll play Felix. He might try Sancho up top. He will try something. Make sure Nkunku's not getting 70, 80 minutes all these games. So I'm a bit skeptical. If I wanted to be different, by the way, go for Trossard.
I was thinking that as well. That was something that was in my mind, but that is really out there. But we don't even know if Trossard's going to play up front. He's going to play in his normal position. The only thing
Again,
we're
this is
sure
the benefit
is
of
the
you
minutes.
waiting a week.
Yeah.
Of you waiting a week,
Yeah.
getting Rodgers, watching how Trossard is, how Nkunku is, and then jumping. But then Leicester game for Arsenal is this week. This is the money game.
That is the money game. Yeah, Leicester have been very, very poor. But the point I was saying, Praz, it's not even 100% to pinpoint. Just say that's an example I used with the Chelsea, is that transfer could come in that scenario. That's the only, I'm trying to look at the pros and cons. So if I went with Rodgers, instantaneously that transfer just goes, which isn't a bad thing. As I said, I think I've done some planning and I'm going to be pretty comfortable for game week 29, unless something really bad like happens, like crazy amount of
I think what you need to think about is, for people who are not free hitting in 29, is when will you wildcard? So what are you setting up for? If you're setting up for game week 30 wildcard, then your transfers will be slightly different from game week 31 wildcard to game week 32 wildcard. And there's some very subtle but very important differences. Like if you're selling Salah, then you maybe are wildcarding earlier to get Salah back. Like, game week 29, if you sell Salah to get Haaland, then you maybe have to wildcard earlier to get Salah back and have a Salah-Haaland structure. If you're not selling Salah and if you're not selling Haaland, then you want to keep them both, maybe wildcard in game week 32. Because in game week 32, then you can decide if you want to keep Salah for the rest of the season or not. And I know people are not liking this where I'm going, but you will see. When you'll come to wildcard, you'll see. It's not going to be a no-brainer that Salah will be in every team.
It's going to be very difficult. That decision is going to be one of the toughest decisions.
He's not going to have any doubles.
Yeah, no more doubles for him, yeah.
And in the blank, people will free hit in game week 34. So they will have him for home to Spurs.
Yeah.
When you bench boost in game week 33, he has Leicester, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But can you bench boost with Haaland, Guardiola, Isak, Gordon, Hall? Basically, I tried to make it. My team value is amazing, and even I can't afford it.
Yeah, no, I definitely can't afford it. No chance.
So it's going to be very difficult.
That's going to be sort of pivotal. Well, it's coming to the conclusion of the season by then. But selling Salah in this season, like we spoke about earlier on, 3 shots, 3 goals. I don't think fixtures or whatever it is, he's just, you are making a very big play there if anyone does that. But that's FPL and that's what we love. I remember saying the same thing to you when you said to me, you're going to sell Haaland very early. I said the exact same thing, and look how that panned out. So maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't be too critical of that move. But that was just an example, Praz. I was saying to you, whether using that free transfer, basically, I'm at a loss of what to do there. Do I just go with the double game week FOMO, get Rodgers in, who's been outstanding this season, take the 2 games if he plays both of them, and then after that, move to whoever I want, which could be Dango. I could still go back to my original choice, which is not a problem. I've got no concern looking at Bournemouth stats and watching them quite a lot this season. I've got no issues tripling up on them. I'm confident.
I mean, they're performing as a team that is better than Brentford.
Agreed.
And people have no problem doubling up with Wissa and Bumo. So what's the problem doubling up with Bournemouth midfielders? Just because they're cheap, there's like a price bias.
That's what it is.
Bournemouth are going to be the core of the bench boost. Actually, another reason for going for Bournemouth mids is they will stay in your team for a long time. Get them early,
need to touch
cheap,
them. Yeah.
And they will stay with you for a while.
Well, unfortunately, I've lost a lot of that value because I've just waiting for something to happen to make my decision easier, but it hasn't worked out, Prez. But that's the one. Even now, I'm going to wait until tomorrow. I don't think there's any price changes tonight. We're recording this on the Thursday night.
Clivert's going up.
Okay, so I've already got him.
Rodgers is going up. Sarr is going down. So I think you should be fine. But Rodgers is going up. But you don't need to jump and get Rodgers before. Like, it's fine.
I don't know. You keep saying that, Praz. I'm broke. Look at me. I need to make some money.
If you're buying a player that you're also going to sell, right, soon,
Yeah.
then the point one doesn't matter, because you can
Yeah.
either buy him at this price and then sell him, or buy him point one more expensive and then sell him, unless you get another price rise. And in that case you make a 0.1. Or if you're selling him next week, you won't make another 0.1
No
million
chance.
because you're selling him.
Unless he scores a hat trick like he did in the Champions League, then yeah, you might be in the money.
Maybe.
But realistically, I don't think there's any other play in this team, Praz. Unless selling Gordon for one of those, say Dango, does that free up enough money to do Ndai to something more exciting? Like
Can you do
I don't.
Welbeck? Sorry, our friend Watkins, no? Bisa to
That's
Watkins or something?
I'm not sure. I need to check that. I'm going to check that while let's have a check there.
I like Watkins a lot, and when I'll talk about my team, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's what comes to that. Oh God, what am I doing? I'm pressing too many buttons. 2 seconds. I need to actually check this myself. See, I should have knowing you would have had this permutation already planned out. But let's try. I don't think I'm gonna have enough money, am I? No, no chance. I need your team value. I'd be 1.1. Now I'm way off, mate.
Okay. I think you fix your defense. And to fix your defense, if it needs a Gordon downgrade, then you do that.
Yeah. And then keep Mekalenko because he plays in 29. I'm not going to use Hall. Yeah, keep him. And he's cheap. Yeah, so it's a simple move. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, actually. So just look. Yeah, there's no other dilemmas in my team. Apart from that, I'm pretty good. What do you think, Press? Anything else?
Yeah. No, I think you're good. You could also take out Greaves, but no, or would you not be able to afford it?
I could do, but
because Hall you can play in the West Ham game, I think. In week 28. No, it's away.
So
I don't see many clean sheets for Hall.
I don't see.
Away Man City, hard. Home to Nottingham, hard for defenders, not for attackers.
Yeah.
Home Nottingham Forest, you can argue still is okay, but Nottingham Forest are on fire, man. And Chris Wood will score a hat trick anyway. So Hall's not keeping a clean sheet. Liverpool away is hard for defenders. West Ham away is the only one. I don't think it's worth holding Hall for that.
I'm in agreement. That's the reason I was thinking of him. And just leave that money. I don't have team value, Press, so leave that money. Greaves is cheap. Leave him third bench, mate. Yeah. And when you mentioned Wood there a minute ago, did you see me shudder? Because I sold him that week. He scored a hat trick.
I did as well.
Oh, you done the same. Well done. Yeah. Fair play. I
think it was a good move. Again, forget the outcome. Look at his fixtures now. Away to Fulham, away to Newcastle, home to Arsenal, home to Man City. Okay, Man City is easy, but
I thought that's. I mean, from your position, maybe you can say that because you're still having a good season. But from where I see that move, boy, I just sat there laughing. Honestly,
I mean, it's a funny outcome. Don't get me
wrong. It was. I don't know if I was laughing or crying. I can't remember which one, but one of them.
I mean, this is okay. Honestly, people who listen to me know it doesn't bother me, man. Like, it's not because I have a good rank this year or whatever. I mean, honestly, who cares, man? He scores a hat trick against Brighton, the same Brighton who beat Chelsea basically a week later. They score 7-0.
That got me. That's what got me so mad. When I done the calculations in my head, I expected Wood to score 1 goal, no problem. I was banking on that. The odds of Brighton conceding 7 and him scoring a hat trick. That guy won't score a hat trick again. But anyway, there's my
I benched Chris Wood's hat trick last season, so I'm used to it, man. It's okay.
Oh, so you've been
scored a hat trick away to Newcastle.
Well, let's move on. Oh, actually, one more thing to discuss. Well, maybe for the viewers, for me and you, we've both got Slot. I'm not considering moving him.
No, go to Robty's assistant manager chart.
Yeah.
So you can see here, actually, the expected value for Slot and Emery is actually exactly the same.
Yeah.
15.3. So I don't think there's any need for either the Moyes guys to go to Slot, like you can just go to Emery, and for the Slot guys to do anything else. Like talk to me about Liverpool. Like, you guys are running out of options anyway. Like, Gakpo looked like he limped off. Trent is still iffy. Diaz is rubbish. Like, Salah and Van Dijk and Alisson are the only picks.
Yeah, definitely. And attack-wise, it's a good point you made. The other guys really need to step up, because once Diaz has been stinking up the place, he had that nice rich vein of form. I can't remember when it was. Was it December? And he looks good. and everyone forgot about Liverpool bidding for Gordon in the summer. All of a sudden, my Liverpool groups, they can't stop talking about a new winger now. But Gakpo's been incredible. He came off injured. Let's hope it's something minor. Jota, you can tell it takes him a long time to get back into the groove. He's still a bit rusty. And Nunes, we know what he is. But FPL wise, you're right. The options are, they're scarce. That's it. There isn't much.
And think about rotation as well, right? Because they have played again. They played midweek. Of course, that was a rested team. But let's start from Everton. So they played Everton.
Yep.
Now they play Wolves. Then they play Villa, and then they play Man City. This is all happening within a week.
Yeah.
So I cannot trust the same team that started. Of course, apart from Salah, apart from Van Dijk, I don't think Trent starts all three. I don't think
agree
Gakpo
with you.
starts all three.
No chance.
So,
he won't. Slot will look after them. He won't do that. I know it's a pivotal part of the season, and we need these wins, but no chance. Bradley will play, and Diaz will play, and without a doubt, you can't risk it. You can't jeopardize the whole season for this little fixture run here. There's too many games, so I think there's not much we can do. I own Trent. At one stage, if he was fully out, he would have made my decision easier. I could have moved that man. But at the moment, I'm not going to touch him. It's just a transfer. Even though it's frustrating, I agree with you. He's not going to get all of these games. When is he going to miss? We're not quite sure, but he will definitely miss some.
Yep, I'm with you.
Right. Let's go to your team, Pras.
Okay. So Pickford in goal, Gabriel, Munoz, and Trent. So I think the backline is fine. So we talked about Pickford. The guy's a legend, like short stopping and stuff. Munoz, I benched his 11 points. This was a brilliant week, by the way. Like the events as they were happening, I had Bruno in my team and I'm watching Munoz score points off my bench. Bruno is missing. He had that nice chance as well. But anyway, so this defense, I think I don't need to touch. This is why I was addressing your third defender problem. I don't have one because I will play Munoz for the next 4. And then in the blank, basically, Mikalenko will come in.
Munoz for the next 4. Let me see Crystal Palace's fixtures.
Everton home, Fulham away, Villa home, Ipswich home.
Yeah, and he's so attacking.
He's playable in all 4. So that would be the idea with these defenders. Then again, midfield, forget I have Bruno Fernandes, but the others, Otara, Salah, Palmer, boom. So same as you.
Yeah.
Instead of Gordon, I have Bruno. And then João Pedro.
And instead of Clive, you have Dango.
I have Dango,
Yeah.
And so that's my team. Now I have done the transfer Sar to Dango. That's the thing. So that's why I have 0 free transfers. Obviously, I don't think João Pedro is going to start because he didn't start in the same, against the same opposition which they won. Like any idiot is not playing. He's playing the same team. Like why wouldn't you?
Have you admitted defeat, Praz, with João Pedro now, or not yet?
João Pedro, I have admitted defeat, but I'm still not going to sell him.
Okay, so he gets another week.
He can stay whenever he wants. He'll tell me when he wants to go. No, I'm joking. I'm only saying because Ndai is now injured, I'll have to sell him first, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if he's injured. So if he's not injured, João Pedro can go. But I'm assuming Ndai is out now for medium term.
It does look like
he will need to leave. And so the move I have in mind is Bruno and and Ndai to Kluivert and Watkins.
So Bruno in that. Oh, that's really good. But that would be for a -8.
Yeah.
You're fully on it. You're going for a -8.
I'm 100% doing it. I just need Emery to tell me that Watkins is fine. If Emery is still like, oh, we'll see, he's still now, he still has some pain, we will evaluate him, or then I won't do it.
Tell me why though, Praz, because Watkins, apart from just the fitness issues, there's no Drew Rand and stuff. So if Watkins is fit, he plays, no problem there. But he blanks on 29. He's not going to be at 29, okay? And then the Liverpool fixture is very difficult. So you're banking on Ipswich, really.
It's 3 home games that I'm banking on. It's Ipswich home, Liverpool home, Chelsea home. So yes, Liverpool home is not that easy. Chelsea home, I think, is a good fixture.
I think so.
So the idea is we're right now going through a period where there's no good forwards, right? I mean, assume that Chris Wood is rubbish, which is my base assumption. So if that's the case, there is no Havertz, there's no Jackson, there is no. I'm not buying any. I'm not buying Beto now. So there's no João Pedro. I don't want to buy Raul Jimenez who'll blank. He won't blank, but their fixtures aren't amazing. So I could go Wissa. I could go Ndai to Wissa for -4.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking I have Bruno and Wissa for -4. I think getting Clivert and Watkins, who has an extra game as well, maybe will pay for itself. So, look, if Watkins is fit, I'm set on the move. There is no doubt I'm going to do it. So
you've made up your mind that move is happening. Long as you get the thumbs up for
100%.
Watkins, why
100%.
not? Why not Rogers and Watkins fully go all in? Is it?
Oh, because then I have to also look at my Game Week 29 team, right? So I can't. I will have next week. I need to have one free transfer for slot to Pep or slot
Yeah,
to Arteta, right? So
yeah,
that's one free transfer. I'll
yeah,
have 3 more left. For 3 more, basically Watkins will need to go,
yeah,
João Pedro will need to go, and one of Salah or Trent will need to go for me to put out an 11. So I need
yeah,
all those 3 transfers to put out an 11. And I can get anyone. I can get Haaland. I can get a third Bournemouth midfielder
yeah.
like Semenyo if I sell Salah. I could get Chris Wood. I could get Guardiola. Like there's lots of options that I can do with these guys. Save the free hit in 29 and then wildcard in 30 or 31. So that's the thinking. I need those 3 free transfers and I really don't want to take any more hits. Basically, the
Okay.
idea would be I screwed it up. I made bad moves last 2-3 game weeks, I think. Going from Saka to Bruno has not worked out. I think João Pedro has not worked out. I think going Gakpo and then selling him for Indai has not worked out. I have to fix the mistakes, man. I can't
Yeah.
leave the team and say I made a mistake. Now I will suffer. I rip the band-aid off and then I'm confident in my team. I'll probably finish like 25k at the end of this game week. But then from 25k, game week 25 onwards, with wildcard, bench boost, free hit left, I hope I can finish top 10k. That's the aim.
I think you're in a great position, to be honest. And I like your thinking. Instead of suffering, longing it out week by week, trying to fix here and there, you're looking to repair it this week. Take the hit, knowing you'll more than likely get a red arrow. Unless someone does something very different in your team.
If I was ever to take a hit, Watkins playing Ipswich at home and Liverpool at home is a good week because you get a double out of him.
Yeah.
And getting a Clivert who's playing Southampton is also a good week to do it, right? Okay, Bruno can do well against Tottenham, but if he keeps playing centre mid, like I can't trust him in any game. So this is also a new bloody development after I got Bruno that suddenly Menu cannot play in centre mid. Like what the hell?
Praz, remember I said that I think in one of the deadline dilemmas. I'm just putting it out there.
The
Okay,
decision
mate?
was fine when he was playing 10 when I got him. He was
No,
scoring.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I'm teasing you. I was more talking about Manu because in a 2-man, he's not as athletic. I always said this before. It's
This I
hard for
agree
him.
with.
He's a very talented player, but he has to play in tight spaces. But your Bruno move, yeah, that's it. I think it is. I like your -8. Yeah, I really
So there's
do.
one way I will avoid a hit altogether is João Pedro does an Instagram update the days he plays. And theirs is a Friday kickoff. So this is why I'm going to wait till late and see if there's any injury issues and things like that. And then I'll take the call. If Watkins is not fit, I might just say leave it, man. Like it's okay. Just chuck it, keep it at one free transfer and leave it there. But I will be happier with a -8. So I really, really hope Watkins is fine.
Yeah, I think that move is an exciting move. It set you up nicely, and he takes the penalties as well. I think I think you'd possibly get your points back with that move and set up nicely.
And you know what? The other thing is, if I get Watkins now, that's the slot that I will use to make Haaland. I don't want to sell Isak in game week 29 because Isak plays Brentford at home in 30, and Isak will stay in my team for the rest of the season because and I have 0.5 million. Or actually, I have 1 million. I bought him at 8.5. He's now 9.5. I have 1 million tied up in him. So I don't necessarily want to sell Isak to buy and afford a Haaland. Whereas everybody else will have to sell Isak if they want Haaland and if they're not free hitting. So that's my little edge where I'm moving the funds in a way that I think I can get to a Haaland and keep Isak. I'll have to sell Salah, but that's
I was about to say you're willing to lose the value on Salah though, Praz,
because I know I will not own Salah in the last 7 game weeks of the season.
Okay, so that's huge. That is. Let me ask you something actually while you said that, because I've heard you talking about you've already looked at your future team and planning. Have you already started to pinpoint areas of where your chips are? Now, I'm not expecting us to go into detail here.
Oh yeah, I have my wildcard team ready, man. Tell me, shall I read it out?
Yeah, let me tell. Or even the week. No, not even a wildcard team, but just the weeks of when you're thinking.
Wildcard 31.
Yeah.
Wildcard 31 because that's the week when Salah plays away to Fulham so it's a decent enough week to not go with him. Wildcard 31. If things happen the way we think, right? Like I have to caveat, right? Because
Yeah,
what we
of
think
course.
will happen
Yeah,
is that in 33 the doubles will be Bournemouth, Man United, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, Man City, Aston Villa.
yeah,
These will be the teams that, if things go according to what we think it will, those are the teams that will double.
yeah,
So the team will be basically, the core of the team will be Guardiola, Haaland. It'll have Palmer in it because in Game Week 32, Palmer is the best captain. He plays
yeah,
home to Ipswich. You sell Haaland then to a Foden or even to a Bruno if you want a Man United player. You have your triple Bournemouth. It could be Evan Nilsson, it could be Clivert, it could be Semenyo, it could be Kirkis, it could be Kepa. Actually, the Kepa Henderson rotation, beautiful for bench boost. So you get the gist. Like that's where I'm trying to
Would you
go.
have 15 doublers planned for
I
33?
I will aim to have $15. Triple
Yeah,
Newcastle. So
yeah,
Hall, Gordon, Isak for sure. Guardiola, Haaland for sure. Triple Bournemouth. Uh, Kepa and Henderson rotation. This is the base. You know, we'll see
and
how.
the free hit would be
34. So bench
yeah,
boost 33, free hit 34.
yeah. There's
And
no
then for
way of
those that don't have triple captain 36 or have triple captain.
yeah. There's no consideration of using the free hit on a on. Is there another double on 36?
There is, you could do that.
You could
But
do,
for
couldn't
that,
you?
what you need is you need two things to happen. One, in terms of postponements, from 34, they don't go to 33. Some go to 36. So in 36, we get more than just the Newcastle double. Right now,
Yeah,
the only doubles people are predicting is Newcastle playing Ipswich at home and Chelsea at home, which is nice.
yeah,
But if I can get triple Newcastle on wildcard, then I don't need to play a chip in 36 if I already have triple
yeah,
Newcastle.
yeah, yeah. I get your
So,
point.
but if there are lots of upsets in the FA Cup and the big teams don't reach, then the double in 33 will be rubbish, but then also the blank might be rubbish. So you could actually play a free hit in another week where there's another double like 36 and actually have a different team altogether. So I'm not ruling it out. There is a possibility that you play your free hit in a double game week. But the beauty of this all is if you navigate 29 without a free hit, after 29 is the FA Cup quarterfinals before game week 30.
Yeah,
So you will have the whole picture when you wildcard. So right now, all you need to worry about is I need to navigate 29 and
that's
wildcard in 30 or 31. Then I'll have the whole picture. I will use my wildcard and I will plan when to bench boost and free hit and triple captain.
that's exactly my thinking. That's why 29 was my priority press to make sure I can get through that, and then after that it opens up. So that's the only thing that was in my mind. Blank game week 29 without a free hit, and then after that the picture opens up. All right,
Exactly.
thank you for that. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. And yeah, I'm curious to see if what you're gonna end up with actually, whether you do the -8 or not. But apart from that, your team's looking good. Unfortunately for us, Praz, captaincy is not even a discussion. It's a bit
Yep.
sad that
We're all on Joao
like,
Pedro.
like
No, I mean Salah.
everyone's on Salah like last week, which is a bit. I think it's a bit boring when that happens, Praz.
It is what it is. Like at least
Yeah,
he won't be mass triple captain this week. So if he does something, it won't hurt our rank.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, I wanted him to keep scoring, so we need those points. But yeah, team's nice. You're in a good position, mate. Let's quickly have a look at the odds here. This is why you want Watkins in your team. They're looking to score above near 3 goals to 2.2, 40%
Yeah,
clean sheet
three
odds.
and a half.
Yeah, I don't see Villa keeping a clean sheet. Watch Dilap's gonna score. But
Yeah, I agree.
I wouldn't get a Villa defender, would you?
Who would you even get? Disasi is
Exactly.
rubbish. Martinez, I can understand. Like if somebody didn't spend or has lots of transfers.
And while we're talking about Villa, actually, what about the new guys? What do you think, Press? Interested or any of them appeal to you?
No,
So
I mean if Oli is out for sure, if he's out for sure, then
yeah,
there's a case to say that you can go Malin
yeah,
because he plays Ipswich at home. He's not in the Champions League squad, so he will get a lot of Premier League games. They probably have committed that to him. That
yeah.
we couldn't register you for Champions League, even though it was your dream to play in the
That's
Champions League.
crazy. I know that is
Um,
so bad.
so he'll just play more games in the league, I would assume. So with Asensio and Rashford, I think they're going to be impact subs for the foreseeable, like until they get the groove and get into the right things. But did you see when Asensio came on, Rogers moved to the right, which
Yeah,
was not as great for him. I mean, I'm quoting FPL Villain, who had some notes on Twitter. But Rodgers is good anyway. So I think if you wanted to go for a midfielder, you don't need to worry. Just get Rodgers.
And Arsenal, Pras, look at that. Look at their figures for this weekend are gorgeous. And yet we're not talking about anyone, mainly
If it
because,
wasn't for a double, we'd all be buying Arsenal
I,
players.
I was thinking that. I mean, the impacts Havertz is going to have on the team's interesting. I know a lot of people frown upon him and say, "Oh, he doesn't score. Arsenal need a number 9," but his statistics for running and closing down, he's so important to their defensive structure. So I wonder if that's going to impact them there as well. But they're predicted 50% for clean sheet odds. That must be one of the highest this season.
I know. I mean, unfortunately it's good to have Gabriel, but that's it. Like, not a lot of people have double Arsenal defense anymore. So I hope they keep a clean sheet. Is all I'll say.
And Trossard, we spoke about earlier on, is the only other potential option is there. There's nothing else for us.
You could go Nwaneri. The good thing about Nwaneri is that he has to play this week, right? I mean, they literally have nobody else. And then in game week 29, when the other time when you really need all your players to play, right?
Yeah.
Sterling is cup tied, not cup tied, but he's loaned from Chelsea. So Sterling cannot play. So Nwaneri has to play game week 29 as well if he's fit. He ticks a few boxes. He's like 4.5 million. So it's an option. But I would prefer obviously a Bournemouth mid if you have the luxury to go there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look at the statistics, see if there's anyone that we're missing. But I think we've, to be honest, covered all the players. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, Pras. You know that. Even after all our discussions, all my dilemmas, I'm not sure if I should go Rodgers or Dango.
It will come to you.
Yeah, I will.
As you wake up in the morning, it will come to you.
If you can help me in the comments, actually, tell me if it's Rodgers or Dango. I'll pick, honestly. I'm that stuck. I'm that stuck on that. But on that note, I think we've covered everything. Praz, is there anything else you want to say, mate?
No, nothing else. Wish everybody, not everybody, people who don't have Chris Wood a green arrow. And no, I'm kidding. Everybody have a good weekend. Good luck with the FPL team. We'll see you next week.
Well, yeah, good luck. Please subscribe and like the video. All right, take it easy.